Robert Kiyosaki said something. He said, find out where people are going to, and before they get there, buy the land.
Welcome to another episode of the Project Souq Grandeur Podcast. My name is Emmanuel Danity, and I remain your usual host. Well, on today's episode of the Project Souq Grandeur Podcast, I have a very, very important guest. He's going to be talking about his role and what he does in the real estate sector. He's a man with so many feathers in his heart, and I'm not going to explain the data on this one. He's going to be doing that himself. So it's nice to have you, Mr. David.
Thank you.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Mr. Emmanuel. And good day, viewers. Morning, afternoon, or evening. Depends on where you're watching us from. I am David Abayomi. I'm a real estate developer and group managing director of Onyx. And I'm so excited to be on this show with you today. Thank you for having me again.
All right. So straight to the point. You said as a realtor, you make a player in the industry.
Right.
So can you take them now? What help people go to that level?
All right, so I think one thing that is very important when it comes to real estate is integrity, and your transparency is the core soul of running a real estate company. So as a realtor, I have always been having the interest of my client, in my heart. It's always my first target when anybody contacts me for any real estate investment. And I think over the years, people have come to trust what I do, and they have seen the traces of integrity and excellence in what we do. And of course, once you can project that, the sky is just your limit. And we have moved from being an ordinary realtor to development. Aside that, I've also seen so many loopholes, when it comes to real estate industry, and going to development has actually helped, in shaping and correcting some of those loopholes perfectly well. So, I think to not say much, these are just the two basic reasons why I moved into development.
That's interesting. So now you've spoken about problems like the land issues.
Oh, yeah.
And money and land grabbing. Has anything changed today?
Well, it's I can say things are changing. Considering about 6-7 years ago, we now have the state government has stepped in a way, because in Lagos now you hardly see families. They still do, but not at the large scale of what it used to be before. And we have actually talked about it. We have amplified these voices to make sure that we are heard, because it has been a major concern, for many real estate developers. And there are so many that has even been tagged as fraudsters, as a company, but the true story behind it is not being revealed. It's not being said outside, and not so many people know about it. And that's one of the reasons I took it upon myself to amplify the challenges, the horror that real estate developers faces in terms of title regularization, in terms of homonym and land grabbers. So I think there's still so much for the government to do. It has not, I can't say it has totally been eradicated, but no. They can see that there's progress, but not at where we wish to be. Right.
Yeah, we would like to actually visit this particular time. We have to get.
That's right.
But then, for someone who's buying land for the first time, which eventually in real estate to get it, what is that first document that you need to know that they are going to have?
Okay, so I'm going to have a takeout. Let me say like a giveaway to this question that you've just asked. Number one question I always love people to ask themselves is, what I asked my prospect before the turn to client is, why do you want to invest in real estate? What is the motive of you investing in real estate? Is your motive land banking, or is your motive for immediate development, or you want to just do land flipping? Once we are able to answer that, but regardless, I think this is what is very important when you are trying to check when trying to make a proper search for your documentation. Number one thing that you want to check for is to know the status, right? I don't always believe in saying that this is the title of the land. It's to know the status of the land, because in land issue we have two kind of major titles. We have what we call committed acquisition and global acquisition. In recent time, that global acquisition has been renamed to what the Lagos State government now called Lekki revocation. right? Or they call it late acquisition or late revocation. So there's two difference between these two statuses. Committed acquisition means that there's nothing you can commit that there's not much money you have, you cannot regularize this land. Nothing can happen. But when they say Lekki acquisition, that is not committed acquisition, it means that you can still be able to regularize it. All what it's going to cost you is money. So it is very important to know the status of the land. But how do you also know the status of the land? You request for the survey plan that's available on that land. That is if you are not told that this land comes with a particular title, right? Because, in the industry, most people have been used to, oh, it must have C of O. C of O is not the only land title. Personally, this is a personal opinion. I don't even love C of O land title as much as I love Gazette, right? So, but in the context of this conversation, I think you want to be certain of your status of the land by requesting for the survey plan. When you know the status of the land, you can now check any other thing that follows, because it's possible for a land to have C of O and it's sitting on the road. It is possible for a land to have C of O and it's sitting on the canal channel, right? Because when they are giving you C of O, they are giving you C of O for an expanse of land, except it's just a plot. But when an expanse of land, they expect that there's going to be there can power line that is running through it. So you must know the status of that portion you want to buy, not just to say, does it have C of O or not? So survey plan is very important.
Well, you just mentioned quite a number of documents here. People would actually look at it and say, oh, the bed of C of O, the probably a hearing of Gazette, there's the Excision.
Yeah.
Out of there are quite a number of documents out there. So can you, in simple English, briefly, can you let us know which is which and what they do?
Okay, so let me break it down this way, right? According to land use law of, I think about 1976 or 1978, it was said that all land in a state belongs to the governor of the state to hold in trustees, right? Not that you should have a selling, to hold in trustees. And why was that law made? They realized that most often when government have any kind of infrastructure to place in a community, it's always tough because the ancestral landowners are not ready to release the land. And like that, these people are also killing themselves. You know what? All this land, let's take it to the governor of the state, who hold in trustees, is have the power to appoint, to allocate, and do all of this thing. So what's the first title that was implemented in all of this thing is what we call excision. We have what we call deep grants, we have what we call freehold, but let's talk about what is invoked now. We have what we call excision. Excision, how does excision work? Now, I want to break it down in the terms. I'm going to answer it with a story so that we understand it at once. It's just like a child going into a school, right? You have done your you're out of your primary school. Now you are in secondary school, right? You are in secondary school and you have gotten an admission into your school of choice. That can be appointed, or that can be simplified as the stage of excision. Government comes into a location, they say, oh, this old land here is 100 plots of land. I mean, it's always more than, but I just wanted to break it down so you understand it. I don't want to use acres or hectares. 100 plots of land is what we have here. It belongs to the whole community. And government is coming to say, you know what? This 100 you have here, it's ours. But the community has written us to say that let's give us excision on this land. And they look at it and said, okay, you know what? It's time to excise this land. Out of 100 plots here, we are going to give you 40 plots, and the remaining 60 plots belongs to the government. You see that 40 plots that has been cut out is what is called excision, an excised portion of land. That 40 plot means that it now belongs to the family. The government has agreed or approved to give you 40 plots, but it did not stop there. That is not the last bus stop, right? So when you are being given these 40 plots, they will create what they call a survey plan, right? The survey plan comes in the community name. Meanwhile, excision is never given to individual. It's never given to one person. It's given to a community. So it comes in a community name. So for example, we are in Shogotedo shooting this now and say, okay, Shogotedo village excision, right, on 40 plots. Then they will give you a survey plan to that. Then you are now expected to furthermore with a payment. meaning you have now finished your secondary school, you need to go to university, right? It does not nullify that that is a valid land that government has given to you already. But you want to take it a step further so that it can be properly documented, right? And that is where Gazette sets in. So what that means is, without your WAEC results, you cannot get admission into universities, some universities. So without the excision plan number being given, you cannot have Gazettes. So excision is a process to Gazette. Excision on its own is a valid title, but not a final title. Gazette on its own is the perfection of excision. So that is when they now publish it. It now becomes a published excision, which is now referred generally as Gazette. So it comes at that point. Most excision come with a plan number they call, most might call it LS/BK/1234. Then when it comes to Gazette, it comes to Gazette number 35, volume so. You understand? So that is when you now have your Gazette. No, your Gazette is still not coming individually. It's still going as the community name that Excision was previously approved. So how do you now get it in your own name or as an individual? You don't need C of O at that point again, because that's why I love Gazette. From my Gazette, I can proceed to doing my governor's consent directly. Now, why I don't like C of O is the fact that 99 years, we don't know what happens. But my Gazette does not have a tenor. It's just there. Right? And that's why I love it. Right. So you cannot process your governor's consent from your Gazette. Right. So these are projects of title, but also we have C of O, popularly known for the sake of collaterals and some other documentation filing and everything. So C of O as well, the land must not be a committed land. And that's why I said buying the property does not mean it must be C of O or anything. You can want to buy a property. What is more important is all the land is not committed. All this title did not fall from heaven. It means that somebody has secured the land the way it is and have decided to process the title on it. Hope I'm not confusing you. Okay, so I think with this, you now understand that if your land is free, you can also get a C of O on it. And the price of C of O is seamless. Get your registered survey plan, filing your application, and you're on your way. You will only be denied if it is a committed acquisition, meaning that the land is not safe. It's been marked for government project. But if not, and there's nobody that's filed on it, you're going to get it. Just make the government payments and you're good to go. I mean, so that's so we have basic of this title. There are some titles that we are not used to in Lagos. We call one out of O. That's right of occupancy. When you get to Abuja, places like that is where you mostly see all those kind of titles. But basic title I've earlier mentioned are the ones that is within our own jurisdiction of operations here.
So I noticed you said a lot about government in all these documents. So for a new investor who's trying to get property, how can you know if this property is free of government issues?
Okay, so thank you. So most often, a lot of people have got it wrong. I have a personal experience recently, and I think we need to be very intentional when we want to do all of this. Sometimes it's even difficult to put your trust in all of this. I'm going to share an experience. No, I'm just going to flash it through. I'm not going to be very deep about it because of our time. But this is what I'm going to tell you. If you want to buy a property, and this is, remember me, are the first investors or whatever, or you're even, a returning client anywhere of real estate, what you should do is not contact a lawyer first. Because even in law, we have different type of lawyers. We have immigration lawyer, we have civil lawyer, we have marital lawyer, and then we have property lawyers, because these are people that studied law. The slightest thing that another lawyer will tell you it cannot work, property lawyer understood it and will tell you that you can go ahead with it. This is based on experience that we have had on this job, right? So we want to do that kind of investment. The first people you contact is a surveyor, right? Is a surveyor, and you should be very intentional about the kind of surveyor, because we have different kind of surveyor again. Recently, I was going to close about, I can mention figures, right? I'm going to close about a 160 million naira deal of a property along the coastal road, and I have done my own findings. I have done my own verifications. In fact, at now we have Lagos State official charting information. We have what we call charting information. We have Lagos State official charting information, and that's another thing you should always do, right? And when we did this land is free from government acquisition. And then this client came and said, I'm interested. We went to site, love the place, everything checked. I said, I'm going to send my surveyor to come and check this land. The surveyor came, picked the coordinate. Now, I'm going to digress a bit. Why it's important that you use a surveyor? Surveyor will not only check the survey that's being shared, surveyor should also go to site to pick the coordinate. Because, Mr. Emmanuel, if you want to buy a property, those that are ready to take your money can give you a survey plan of a property where you are sitting. And the property that I want to buy is here where I'm seated. But the property that I want to buy does not have a title. But where you are seated has got a title. Now they are going to give me the survey of where you are seated and say that's the land I want to buy because it just shares boundary. It is very important to know that this land here might have a title and the one just 10 feet from me does not have a title. So surveyor want to ascertain the portion that you want to pick and make sure that it's in alignment with the survey you have been shared with. And then they are going to take this straight down to Alausa to go and check. Back to the story. This guy came to site, he picked the coordinates, we gave him the survey, and he went back home and checked on his system, the system that was not updated. It's not up to date of what we call base map, right? And he checked and he came back with a report that, oh, see, this land is not free from government acquisition. It's committed. They cannot regularize it. And I was shocked to hear that information. That I did not panic because I know what we are selling. Then this client said, Mr. David, I trust you. I've been dealing with you for quite some time. You know what? I want to go do my verification myself. So the document we gave to him, he went to Alausa himself on Tuesday, because this happened on Thursday. On the following week, Tuesday, went there. He was in there and he called me and said, they gave me a report and said that this land is free from government acquisition because of your general happened to be my friend's brother. I said, this land is free. They said we can buy. Now, look at two lessons there. If you want to use a surveyor, that means you have to use a professional surveyor that is trusted and you are sure will get the job done. So not just engage an ordinary surveyor. And also, if you're on ground, it's good to make personal verification, self-verification. All right? It's just because of this content of this conversation, I would have loved to open so many things, but really, if you want to buy property, the first person you contact is a surveyor. If you are not on ground, you're on ground, still contact a surveyor, but make sure you follow through the process. Yeah. So with that, you're able to know, is this land committed or not? Is this land free or not? I think that answers the question, but that's the primary question here.
So, do you think government policy is helping real estate?
It's not. It's not. It's not, because they really need to review some of their policies. For example, in Lagos State, every day we are shouting housing deficits. Lagos State has the smallest landmass in Nigeria, about 5,000 and something square kilometers. Yet, it's the most populated city in Nigeria. And we have some lands that are undeveloped, right? How come government cannot give easy access to title payments? And say, you know what, you guys that are into development, we want you to solve housing deficit. That's why housing is expensive in Lagos. The Shogoda that we have today is only by maybe a kind of a distress sales that you can get a plot of land on the express or not far from the express for 150 million. Land now goes for as high as 200 million, 300 million. In this axis, in Lekki, you see a plot of land for 500, 600 million. Because it's expensive. To get a title from the government is expensive. And that's why this policy is not helping housing deficit. Go towards this road. You go to Ekpe. There are many lands that are just line value. Give people title on it. Let them develop. Another people that needs to calm down on their charges is the Department of Building, both LAPSCA and LASPA. You want to build, you are giving you charges. After giving you charges, you pay. From the beginning of the building to the end of the building, you are paying. I have construction ongoing now. I am paying at every stage. And at the end of the day, who is going to pay for it? The end users will pay for it. So some of these policies are not being helpful. In Nigeria today, especially in Lagos, you have a development to do. There's no road, there's no light, There is nothing. You as a developer are being forced to create all of these things. But go to civilized countries, go to South Africa. Before development hits a location, they already have good roads, they already have underground water system. And all of these things are what government needs to put in place to help developer. As a developer, if they put all of this in place, it makes our work easy. All right. So I think let's just touch those a few points and to just say that it's not helpful, but we hope that they are going to, develop on this as time goes on.
Oh, beautiful. On its audience, has not developed a number of communities.
That's right.
How do you choose this area?
For us at Onyx audience, location is important. Robert Kiyosaki said something. He said, find out where people are going to, and before they get there, buy the land. Right. Because, for example, let's use a physical thing you can say. Between 2015, let me go back a bit. Between 2013 to now, we have seen how developed this Ibejuleki axis became. And why? Because of some major development that the government brought in. Oh, the Dangote refinery is coming, the free trade zone is coming, the thing is coming. So we always look out for a government targeted location. For example, I bought a property in 2021. The name of the property, the estate name is Abule Waterfront Estate. When I was just on a boat cruise one evening with a friend of mine around Bogije, right, around Omo Resort. And when we were on the boat, I saw through, and that was when they gave me the name, Iguai. I saw through a thick bush. But at the end of the bush, we're just speed. I just saw that I could see a light at the end of that, meaning that there is a path at the end of the thick bush. So I was forced to ask, what is at the end of this bush? The guy told me there is a road at the end of that bush. I opened my map and I checked through satellite view. No, there's a road. So I made more findings about that road. I realized that that's where the Fort Milan Bridge road will pass. And also, that road is going to connect to the new Lekki Epe International Airport. And it was on a Sunday. On a Tuesday, I moved my team in. Say, we are going to that location. Let's go on optimate search for land. We got there, my brother. There were beautiful land with good title over there. And I came into about 3 locations immediately. I bought estate property. Why am I sharing this story? Today, there's what we call Omo Greek Bridge by the government. Where are they doing it? Opposite shop right here in Shogotedo. It's going to, if I want to go through road to the land I bought then, it's going to take me about an hour drive through a rough road. By the time that bridge is completed, it's going to be less than 10 minutes. And by the time that bridge is completed, it has opened up assets in that place. And now, a land in that location is not less than 25-30 million. How much that buy? I can't disclose that on camera because we are reselling it as an estate as well. So we always target and focus on where is this going to happen, and then we move in. So location for us is very keen when we are investing. Good accessibility, government project is going to come with full development, and I mean it helps us make the right decision.
Thank you very much. Quick one before we round up.
Yeah.
A lot of Nigerians abroad really want to come and invest. How are you making that easy for them with money?
All right, so for investors outside the country, we have put in place a system that has automated most of what we do, even though we always encourage. Personally, if I'm opportune to speak with them, I go, do you have anybody in Nigeria that can help you check? At the same time, many of them are even scared in Nigeria. But I can tell you that 95% of our client database are diasporans, right? So we have a seamless operation. We can engage you throughout the process, virtual inspections and everything. Your documentation process seamless. Engage a lawyer to do your verifications. We send you the proof and everything. You make your payments. We do your virtual allocation. If you want, we make your fencing for you. Anytime there are people that bought property from us in the last 5 years and we have not seen. We have just been talking, and they have invested in millions of naira. So it has already been part of our own operation to make these things easy for those in diaspora, because we know that Yoruba will say Ilela Bosimioko, they are definitely coming back home and they want to have something back home. Right.
Very good. So we'll just round up quickly. Final question, but we'll make it a two-way thing. With your experience, what advice would you give to a newbie who just wants to start a career in real estate, and also for an investor who just wants to do what is first time purchasing, wants to buy a property or land?
Okay, for an aspiring career starter in real estate, what I can advise you is that real estate is a long-term game. It's not a game that you can just do and move out immediately. It's a long-term game, and at the back of your mind, beyond money that you think you want to make sure that you're coming to serve people, to create excellence to people. All right, that is the soul of this career. That is what can help you. Be very transparent. Money should come last. Value should come first. And when you are able to put that in that order, then you are able to scale. It might not be an easy journey, but at long run, and what we enjoy as realtors, as agents, as consultants in real estate is what we call referrals. There are no new clients out there, but when you are able to serve and serve right, that means already. I tell my people, if I have one client, I already have 10. I just need to do the right thing with that one, and I'm going to get 10. So it's important that you keep that integrity in check, and then everything will fall in place. All right. And for aspiring investors that just want to kickstart in investments and real estate investment, yeah, what I would say is buy land, buy land. Keep you have made up your mind to do the right thing. Do it. Buy land, buy houses, buy and keep buying and keep buying. All right, because real estate, they say, is king, and it never lies.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
You already know, buy land, buy land, buy land. If you're looking into starting starting property banking or whatever it is with a real estate, and if you're looking for a career, make sure you always do the right thing. It was nice having Mr. David on this episode of the
Thank
Project Souq
you.
Grandeur Podcast. To become your way again on the next episode, always remember that we are bringing you great personalities who's going to give you all the best insights on this show. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share with your friends, and make sure that this information reaches the end of the world. I still remember your humble host, Emmanuel Danity. Peace and I'm out.